Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Would you believe the coolest star in C-pop keeps a thermos of ginger tea by his side like a sacred treasure? Not coffee, not a sports drink, a thermos of ginger tea. And guess what? This one small habit has become a trend across Chinese film sets, and fans are loving it. Welcome to Star Watch Now, your backstage pass to the real lives of Asia's biggest stars. Today, we dive into the unexpected wellness routine of Wang Yibo, and why his little thermos of tea is making big waves across the entertainment world. On the surface, Wang Yibo is the epitome of a modern superstar, an electrifying performer, a fierce competitor on the racetrack, and a global fashion icon who commands attention with every step. To millions, he represents ambition, discipline, and flawless cool. But behind that composed exterior lies a much more layered and thoughtful individual. Someone who has quietly redefined what it means to be successful in today's entertainment world. Yibo isn't just a performer chasing fame. He is a man driven by quiet conviction. His dedication to health and personal balance is not a trend, nor a branding strategy. It's who he truly is. While others reach for cold drinks and quick fixes, he reaches for a warm thermos of ginger tea, not to impress, but because he knows what his body needs. He respects the work, but he also respects the body that allows him to do it. That simple act, sipping tea on set, tells a deeper story about his values. He knows the pressures of fame are relentless. The hours are long, the expectations unending. So instead of pushing harder at the cost of his well-being, he chooses consistency, care, and self-awareness. And that choice, subtle as it may seem, is powerful. There's a quiet strength in someone who can remain grounded in an industry built on appearances. Wang Yibo's calm, intentional way of living reminds us that success doesn't have to come at the cost of health. It reminds us that grace and grit can coexist. And perhaps most of all, it shows that even the brightest stars can shine without burning out, if they dare to protect their peace. It's just a thermos, ordinary, unassuming, the kind of item most people wouldn't look twice at. Yet in the hands of someone like Wang Yibo, it becomes a quiet symbol of discipline, intention, and the kind of wisdom that often hides in the smallest details. In an industry obsessed with image, where every movement is scrutinized and every detail carefully curated, you might expect a celebrity to choose style over substance. But Yibo defies that expectation. While others clutch trendy coffee cups or branded water bottles, he carries a thermos, often filled with ginger tea, a simple but powerful elixir rooted in traditional wellness. And he does so with the same calm confidence he brings to the stage, as if to say, health is not a trend, it's a lifestyle. The thermos isn't just about keeping a drink warm. It's about preserving balance in an environment that constantly pulls people off-center. For Yibo, that small item is a daily anchor. It's warmth in a cold world. It's consistency in the chaos of film sets, rehearsals, media tours, and sleepless nights. It's a reminder that even amidst global fame, one can still make time for care, for breath, for health. There's something quietly radical about that. We often think of strength in grand gestures, powerful performances, record-breaking achievements, dramatic transformations. But sometimes, true strength shows up in the small, consistent choices. The ones no one applauds. The ones that happen when the cameras aren't rolling. A warm drink in a thermos cup may seem insignificant, but it's a gesture that speaks of foresight, self-awareness, and long-term thinking. It's a commitment not just to survival, but to sustainability. What makes Yibo's thermos habit so compelling is not that it's fashionable or photogenic. It's that it's real. In a culture of instant gratification and burnout, he chooses slow healing. He honors traditions that many have forgotten, and in doing so, he bridges the past with the present. He shows young fans that taking care of yourself isn't weakness. It's responsibility. He shows that being grounded doesn't mean being dull. It means knowing who you are when everything around you is trying to shape you into someone else. Perhaps that's the true power of the thermos. Not the stainless steel or the liquid inside, but the message it carries. That greatness is built not only in talent, but in how you care for the vessel that holds it. That health isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual. And that even in the fast-paced glow of modern fame, there is space for quiet rituals, for intentional choices, and for returning to the basics. It's just a thermos. But in the right hands, it becomes a manifesto. And maybe that's why, when Wang Yibo lifts his cup, the world takes notice. Not because it's loud, but because it's honest. And these days, that kind of honesty is the rarest power of all. In today's world, where image often overshadows essence, where speed is mistaken for success and exhaustion is worn like a badge of honor, making space for health is no longer just a personal choice. It's a powerful public statement. And few people embody that truth more quietly yet meaningfully than Wang Yibo. When we think of a celebrity making a statement, we imagine grand speeches, social media declarations, or dramatic shifts in style. But Wang Yibo does something different. He speaks through habit, through presence, through what he carries in his hands. A thermos of ginger tea, a symbol of intention, consistency, and care. At first glance, it seems so small, almost forgettable, but it's in that very simplicity that its power lives. In an industry built on aesthetic perfection and relentless schedules, his quiet refusal to sacrifice well-being speaks volumes. Yibo doesn't need to announce that health matters to him, he shows it. In the way he protects his energy, in how he stays grounded amidst global fame, in the rituals that most overlook, but that he turns into quiet acts of self-preservation. And this is why it matters. Because health, in his world, isn't something to be squeezed into rare days off or luxury retreats. It's a part of the process. A foundation, not a reward. It's what allows him to show up fully, again and again, on stage, on screen, and in life. He's not performing wellness. He's living it, genuinely, sustainably. That commitment sends a different kind of message, one not shouted but felt. Especially to fans, many of whom live in cultures where rest is seen as laziness, where silence feels like failure, and where burnout is not only normalized but romanticized. In that context, Wang Yibo's daily, deliberate care for his body and mind becomes revolutionary. He doesn't push health as a product or a perfect image. He makes it human, accessible. Whether it's sipping tea during long shoots or insisting on a proper lunch break between takes, he reminds us that rest, warmth, and stillness are not indulgences. They're wisdom. And they are especially necessary when you're chasing big dreams. When someone at the top of their game, young, successful, adored, chooses to slow down, to nourish, to listen to their body, it reshapes the narrative for everyone watching. It says, you don't have to break yourself to prove yourself. You don't have to burn out to shine. You can honor your ambition without abandoning your health. That's why this matters. Because it's not just about tea or thermoses. It's about permission. The permission to care, to stop, to breathe, to choose what truly sustains us. Wang Yibo may not preach these things out loud, but he lives them with quiet conviction. And in doing so, he challenges an entire generation to think differently, not just about health, but about what strength really looks like. Behind the lights, the cameras, and the perfect smiles, the world of show business hides a weight few truly understand. For every flawless performance, there are countless hours of rehearsals, sleepless nights, emotional strain, and the silent pressure of being constantly watched, judged, and expected to deliver. In this world, health isn't just important, it's essential. And yet, it's often the first thing to be sacrificed. What the audience sees is the final product. The polished image, the effortless movement, the captivating gaze. But what they don't see is the physical exhaustion from long shoots under scorching lights, the mental toll of staying relevant in a competitive industry, or the emotional burden of carrying public expectations while managing a private life that rarely stays private. This is why figures like Wang Yibo choosing to prioritize their health, even in small, quiet ways, feels so significant. When someone so deeply embedded in the machinery of fame dares to slow down, to care for themselves, to listen to their body, they make visible what the industry often hides: the cost of being constantly on. In a culture that romanticizes hustle and rewards burnout, maintaining one's health becomes an act of resistance. Carrying a thermos of ginger tea on set, taking scheduled breaks, avoiding harsh temperature changes. These may seem like minor routines, but within the context of entertainment, they are deeply intentional. They protect not just the body, but the spirit behind the performer. Because in showbiz, energy is currency. Emotion is art. Focus is survival. Without health, all of it begins to erode. Slowly at first, then all at once. A voice gives out. A step wavers. A performance lacks presence. And sometimes, a life burns out too soon, all in the name of giving it your all. So when we see stars like Wang Yibo choosing health, we should recognize it for what it is. Not a trend or a quirk, but a powerful reminder. Even in a world built on illusion, real strength lies in knowing when to care for yourself. Let's be honest. A thermos doesn't look glamorous on camera. In one iconic moment, while filming the variety show Day Up, Yibo whipped out his thermos to join a group toast. While others held stylish glasses, he proudly held up his metal bottle. People laughed, but he didn't care. Speech balloon to him, wellness isn't a phase. It's a lifestyle. What used to be uncool is now seen as authentic, disciplined, and wise. He's redefining what it means to be strong. Not by burning out, but by lasting longer, living smarter, and staying grounded. You don't need fame or a film crew to live like Wang Yibo. Why not try starting your day with a cup of ginger tea instead of coffee, taking 15 minutes to rest during your lunch break, avoiding cold showers after exercise, carrying a reusable bottle not just for health, but for the environment. If one of Asia's biggest stars can do it with cameras watching, maybe we can too. Glowing star at the end of the day, Wang Yibo reminds us of something simple but powerful. Speech balloon, you don't have to give up being cool to take care of your body. Real strength is quiet. It doesn't shout. It sips from a thermos. Folded hands, thank you for watching Star Watch Now. If this story inspired you, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more stories from behind the spotlight. We're here to bring you the heart, not just the headlines. Stay healthy, stay inspired, and remember, even the brightest stars need to recharge. Sparkles. See you in the next video. Sparkling heart.